As debut goes, winning an SEC title isn't bad, and that's exactly how Dana Duckworth kicked off her tenure as the head coach of Alabama Gymnastics, a title she was given when legendary coach Sarah Patterson retired last year. That is, of course, one of the things we talked about.
That's right. So also a little bit of advice on work, life balance, some good stuff in this week's edition of 101 with Jenn and Dana Duckworth.
We're back with another edition of One-on-One with Jenn, and this time we get to take on one of my favorite coaches, Dana Duckworth, in her first year with Alabama Gymnastics as the head coach. She's been a part of the team for a very long time, back on that board. She's a national champion twice, and she was also an assistant coach here for many years. Dana, what did you learn in your first year as a head coach?
Oh, so many lessons. I first of all learned there's a lot of moving parts that have nothing to do with gymnastics. Just the corporate part, the administrative part, managing things, having a staff and all those things. That's probably the first lesson that I learned very quickly. The second part that was so exciting about being a head coach is that ultimately every decision that's made ends up really being your responsibility. And I love that. I'm not fearful of it. I just knew that I wasn't going to know exactly what that felt like until I got a little more experience under my belt.
Throughout the year, did you reach back to Sarah and David at all for advice? Did you need to talk to them at all?
They were so beautiful in the sense that they didn't push, but when I needed them, I could reach out to them, and they were always there for me. I talked to a lot of different head coaches in different programs that have been very successful. I got some great feedback, and I leaned on my husband a lot. He was my buddy and my partner in crime that I could kind of just, let me get this off my chest, let me vent, or let me try to express what and then he could take it from a completely outsider's perspective and give me time to say, I think you should sleep on it, think about it, and then make a decision in the morning. And that helped a lot.
Well, that's a great way to lead into the family then. You know, everybody sees you as the gymnast and the coach, but you're a wife and mother. Talk a little bit about your family and kind of how they've made this transition with you.
Well, the trick to being a successful career woman is balance. And that's one of the harder parts, especially when you love what you do so much. And so I have a very supportive network of family. My in-laws are incredible. My husband was there for me every step of the way. And my children understood that when you had mommy time, it was quality time. We may not have a ton of quantity time, but it was important to us. We went shopping, we did pedicures, manicures, I took my son to different things, movies. I mean, those are the things you just find time for. Because at the end of the day, you have to have your priorities straight. Because as a head coach, you're an example to the young women. And I want them to go on to be career women. I want them to have independence. I want them to know that they can do amazing things. But part of that is having balance and being able to display that.
Well, another example I think you set is, I say this every week, you guys are the best dressed coaching staff that there is. Talk a little bit about your outfits and how they come together, because they always look on point.
Well, thank you so much. I have to share that I love clothes. I love the style and looking at different outfits. And this is our show. And when you are at a home meet and you get to be in front of your crowd and you feel good about what you're wearing, then I think it kind of exudes confidence in how you act, dress, and approach things.
What did the girls give back to you this year that made you feel like this was where you're supposed to be?
Trust. If I could tell you anything, is the ladies trusted in our process. They trusted in our preparation. We had very good open communication. Their gymnastics is important to our success. Their gymnastics is important to us being able to move on and protect the legacy from a championship standpoint. But who they are as a person, what they bring to the table, the struggles they have in life, that's why I'm here. I'm a life coach as much as I am as a gymnastics coach, and I take it very seriously. And I feel that I had an amazing journey here as an athlete, and I want them to have the same experience I did.
Great stuff right there. I am disappointed that you didn't challenge her to arm wrestling, because those guns.
I don't like to lose, but I would prefer then to hire her as a stylist, because really her clothes are always so wonderful.
There you go.
And she's just a great person. All those answers were so wonderful. I think, especially as a female, to hear someone talk about that work-life balance gives hope for younger ones. And She is a really good example to the ladies, so I like that.
Absolutely. More to come on Sports Sunday. Next, we're going to unveil our favorite things for this weekend. Mr. Freeze was at Talladega today. Don't worry, it's not Arnold. We'll be right back. How many people got that?